In a presidential campaign season that is unlike any other, one word has been used time and time again to describe how so many voters are feeling.
Voters are angry across the board.
4 in 10 voters said they are angry.
They have anger that's unbelievable.
People are angry and people are very frustrated.
Look, as someone who's been angry for decades, I'm getting a little tired of these people thinking I got to care about their anger.
So where are the angriest voters in the U.S. and how does that play in the presidential race? Yahoo Finance columnist Rick Newman crunched the numbers to find out. Rick, good morning.
Morning.
How do you define angry?
Well, we looked at it economically. So we ranked all the states by the unemployment rate, change in employment, both overall employment and manufacturing employment over the last 10 years, and change in income. And the point here is to try to identify where people feel like they're falling behind and which states are relatively prosperous. And that does correlate with the so-called angry vote we're seeing for Donald Trump.
So which states were the angriest and the least angry?
Well, here's the most angry list. New Mexico, Alabama, Rhode Island, Nevada, Delaware, West Virginia, New Jersey, Mississippi, Florida. And then on the other side of the list, the states that are prospering, both the Dakotas, Idaho, Iowa, Utah, where we've got the primary coming up, Oklahoma, Montana, Colorado, and Washington State.
There's really no debating, if you watch any media coverage, that people feel like Donald Trump has been able to use that momentum and capitalize on the most votes. But what's your assessment of how he's doing it?
Well, we put this list together first, and then we said, well, of the angry states that have held primaries, how many has Donald Trump won? And of the 20 angry states that have held primaries, 11 have held primaries. Trump has won 10 of those. That's a 91% winning percentage. And the only one he didn't win was Ohio, where native son John Kasich won. And then if you flip it around, the least angry, which you could also think of as the most prosperous states right now, he only won about 36% of those states where there have been primaries. So clearly he's doing better in states where the economy is struggling.
Well, is he talking about the economy more than the other candidates?
Sure. Well, the big thing he talks about is trade. These terrible trade deals that have cost U.S. jobs. And economists have always sort of said, yes, that happens, but overall everybody benefits from free trade. Even economists are starting to change the way they think about that and saying, well, let's look at China. We know that we're getting a lot of cheap stuff from China, but has the overall economy, improved because of open trade with China? And they're saying we are having trouble identifying the benefits. The new jobs that are supposed to be generated as the overall economy improves. We're not seeing those. So there is legitimacy to this claim. There are angry voters, and they are angry for legitimate reasons.
And looking at the angry voters in so many key states, do you think that led to the downfall of Marco Rubio?
Well, Rubio tried to run a positive campaign for the most part. We know that he sort of went negative on Trump at the end. Then he himself acknowledged it didn't. That didn't work. Yeah, so he was probably a little too optimistic. Here's another test. John Kasich is trying to run a positive campaign, talking about the things we can do, things that are going right, and things we can do better rather than everything that's wrong. That'll be a test to see if that works. I think the real question with regard to Trump is, are there enough angry voters to really propel him, put him over the top? And my guess on that is no. There are not enough angry voters overall because things are generally going relatively well in the economy.
But it's working for him now.
That's right. Right now, he's getting enough. But let's remember, he's not getting majorities of voters in these states. For the most part, he's getting pluralities. So and that correlates to about the portion of people you might say are being left behind in this economy.
I can't imagine the angry comments you got after that.
Oh, my.
Well, you're right about Donald Trump. You got to take it.
Rick Newman, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.